record. We're recording. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast. Tara and Becca here to have some drinks, talk about shit we like, and remind you to continue staying the fuck home. But first, Tara, let us know. What are you drinking? What's on your face?
So I'm drinking something fun. It's from Rivertown Brewing Company, and it's the Halakahiki.
Halakahiki, okay.
And I got it today when we took a walk. I live in Pittsburgh, so we were in the city, and Pennsylvania seems to have closed all of their liquor stores, which is like a major bummer. And there was literally just like a vendor selling this in the street, so we bought a bunch of beer.
Is it from a PA brewery?
I looked on the can and I actually can't tell. I feel like the answer to that has to be yes, because why else would this person be selling this particular beer on the street in Pittsburgh?
No idea.
I don't know. So maybe.
Fascinating.
And then, so that's what I'm drinking. It's actually delicious. It has like and very overwhelming pineapple-ness to it.
I love pineapple.
And then on my face, I want to talk about ColourPop's Super Shock Shadow in Ice Dream, which I don't know how, Becca, you mentioned that I have yet to talk about my Super Shocks, because they're like my favorite eyeshadows ever, and I have so many different ones, and I still think that they're one of the most unique formulas like out there, and they make some of the most unique colors out there, and they're just incredible. And I don't know how I haven't talked about them yet, but
yeah, if I had to like pair people I know and like with one makeup product, you would be ColourPop Super Shock Shadows.
They're amazing, and they're $5.
You love them and you rock them. I never really got along with that formula, but we are makeup opposites.
I know.
Except for this one thing. I am wearing a KVD Vegan Beauty liquid lipstick. I stocked up after the terrible person was booted from the brand and they were on sale for $8, and I'm wearing the shade Malice, which is, I don't know, it's a really cool, it's like a bright orange, but it's not like neon. Like, I think you could wear this to work and it would be fine. And I'm drinking a Brut Rosé sparkling wine, which Brut means dry, so it's not too sweet, which is what I like.
So fancy. I agree with you on the lip color, that it's like super bright but also super cash.
Yeah, it's not I don't know. I mean, I love orange lipstick anyway. We've talked about it before, but it's a very approachable one.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are we talking about today?
Oh boy. Okay. Tell me how excited you are, because we are going to be talking about skincare basics, which is something we are both very passionate about. So we're just gonna like dip into the just like the actives, right?
Yeah, I'm super pumped. This is my jam. This is like where I spend a lot of my time nerding out. So we're gonna skip some of the super basics and get into the fun stuff, what I consider the fun stuff. But I do feel like I have to go over a couple of things in a small PSA. Otherwise, like skincare overlords are going to come for me if I don't just put this information out there. Okay, I have a little bullet list that I made, and I'm just going to read through it real quick. 1, every single one of you and your mothers should have a morning moisturizer, a daily SPF, an evening cleanser, and an evening moisturizer. It is okay if your morning and evening moisturizer are the same thing. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But you should moisturize AM and PM. You should be cleansing every night, even if you don't wear makeup. Nick does not wear makeup, but he is in the garage all damn day. He also has to wash his face at night. And if you're cleansing at night, well, you are cleansing at night. This is a thing that you do now, but that means that you don't really need to cleanse in the morning. The vast majority of people will not need to use a product to wash their face again in the morning. Usually like splash warm water, pat dry with soft towel. That's fine for the vast majority of the population. Yes, you should be wearing sunscreen daily. I don't care if you go from your house to your car to your office building. Your car only protects you like this much, tiny bit from UVA, UVB. Actually, I think it only protects from one of them, actually. Whatever. Wear
Yeah, it is
sunscreen
just
every
hard.
day. If your skin is very oily, but you have no skincare routine to speak of, you probably have dehydrated skin, which means it's overproducing oil as a result of being so dry and sad and neglected. So
Or if
try
you're overdoing it with actives too.
also that.
Yeah.
So try treating it like dry skin for a few months and see what happens. That's kind of what happened with me. I did have a skincare routine, but I always thought my skin was very oily and I wasn't really making any progress with my skincare routine. And so I tried treating it like dry skin, and then, wow, yeah, I have dry skin. Who would have thought? Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you have more questions, shoot us a message on Instagram, on Facebook, on the blog, whatever, or just leave a comment and let us know that you want like a full episode on skincare basics.
Mm-hmm.
And now on to the good stuff. We're going to talk about actives and acids. I broke it down into 5 main ingredients, but 2 of them are paired together and they're kind of under the same umbrella. So we've got 4 categories: vitamins A, B, and C, and chemical exfoliants.
Yes.
So I wanted to start with retinol first because I know, Tara, you also find that an intimidating category.
I do. I don't think it has a place in my routine right now, just because I do use so many other actives. And the thing that I find intimidating is that I think that'll be the one that tips the scale into like, you're doing too much.
That's funny. I think it's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so retinol is a form of vitamin A. It's in stuff like isotretinoin. I don't know how to pronounce that. If you've heard anybody who maybe struggled with really severe acne, been on Accutane, that's like a very extreme, super high concentration. Well, it's a pill, but that's also like
Prescription
based
grade.
on retinol. Yeah. For all intents and purposes, I will call him my uncle-in-law. Nick's uncle is an esthetician, and I actually talked to him yesterday, and he said that if you can, talk to your dermatologist and get a prescription, because the prescription ones are better. But I think it is an intimidating product category. So like there's plenty of stuff on the market that you can start with if you're new to this. So it's a form of vitamin A. It's a skin restoring, wrinkle smoothing, firming ingredient, and an antioxidant. So it can help with a variety of skin issues or concerns. It's one of the very few ingredients that's actually like scientific research backs it, that it can help with signs of aging. And not that aging is bad, but certain things like pigmentation from age spots or sunspots, skin firmness, roughness, or dullness, and like fine lines and wrinkles, and also acne are things that retinol can help with. This is not the only time that we're going to say this, talking about the ingredients in this episode, but it is a thing that should be introduced slowly. And it is an ingredient that can make your skin more photosensitive, meaning more reactive to the sun. So you have to be using sunscreen, which we already went over, and you should be doing anyway.
But like you should definitely be using sunscreen. But also, if it is like a photosensitive ingredient, you could also use it at night before bed.
Fair point. So all of those actives, basically everything that we're going to talk about today, except for vitamin C, I use only at night.
Yeah.
But I still wear sunscreen the next day, always.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, so you've never used any retinol products at all?
You know what? I'm actually thinking back about 2 years ago, I was prescribed something from my dermatologist to use because I did have a lot of acne for like a hot minute. And I don't remember what it was called, but it definitely was a retinol. And it was really effective and worked really well. And then I stopped using it.
Did it dry your skin out?
Yeah, but I have like an army of moisturizers, so.
I think that's one of the things. I'm pretty sure I also was prescribed like a retinol type product, probably like early 2000s, to help with acne when I was in high school. But like, I don't know, I sometimes think dermatologists prescribe those things and then they don't really give you the background, and they're like, here, use this every day. And you're like, okay, but I don't have a skincare routine. Like, I wasn't wearing sunscreen. I wasn't regularly like cleansing my face. And of course it super dried out my skin. if you do try retinol and you find that your skin's getting really dry or it's getting very red and sensitive, scale back, like pull back on the frequency of use.
Yeah, definitely.
I started using it in the Sunday Riley Luna Sleeping Night Oil,
Oh.
which I also thought it was like a very intimidating product. And so the Sunday Riley oil appealed to me because it was a retinol like suspended in oil to kind of counteract the drying part of it.
Yeah.
There's lots of other things in that product that I've since posting it like a week ago on our Instagram saying that this is one of my like OG favorites, have kind of made me reevaluate whether or not I want to continue using it. Of like things that I discovered while researching this. Sunday Riley makes it like really difficult to figure out what the actual concentration of retinol is. But it also, like, as we're going to talk about, a lot of brands now, like it's not hard to find affordable actives anymore.
No, it's really not. There's so many brands doing it so well, like Good Molecules, The Ordinary, Inky List.
Yeah, those were the three I was thinking of like really kind of made it an accessible thing. You don't have to spend like $100 an ounce to use these ingredients anymore.
Yeah.
All right, since this is one that you find scary, do you have questions about retinol?
I do actually. I think I know the answer to this, but it's also worth noting for like everyone else. What can you and can't you combine it with?
From my understanding, I think most of the things that we're going to talk about today can play together pretty well. However, since retinol is kind of doing some like mild exfoliating and can make you more photosensitive,
Mm-hmm.
the like reaction to sunlight, I would definitely not use it on the same days that I'm using a chemical exfoliant.
Right. So like a BHA or an AHA.
Yeah, which is what we're going to talk about next. But
Yeah.
but I think that there are some feelings out there about using it together with vitamin C.
Okay.
But also because retinol is one of those things that most people aren't using daily, and like especially if you're new to it, I tend to alternate anyway, and I'm not typically using any of the things that we talk about at the same time.
Right.
So I'll use like my retinol products like maybe twice a week. And then like on other days, I'll use like vitamin C twice a week and glycolic acid once or twice a week, etc.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's one of the things where sometimes I can find myself like now kind of just going, you know what, I don't have the headspace to research this, so I'm just not going to use it.
Absolutely. It's so overwhelming. And it took me years. Like this episode is kind of working out that I'm the subject matter nerd on this one. But it took me a really long time to even like get into it at all.
Yeah.
And then like I cracked the surface and now I'm like, oh my God, I fell down the rabbit hole. But yeah, and like vitamin C and niacinamide are also things that like are fairly safe to use in the mornings.
Yeah.
So like you could always do one of those in the morning and then retinol in the evening. I think that while for the most part it's probably fine to use some of those things together, it's just really not necessary.
Yeah.
Like your skin can only do so much at once. So yeah, retinol is a form of vitamin A. Introduce it slowly, use sunscreen. And I went kind of wild and I put like a whole spreadsheet together of a bunch of different products that Tara and I have both played with and like, or that are kind of like the max and min prices on the market of basic popular brands right now. And we're going to put that spreadsheet in the blog post if you're like, okay, I'm kind of curious about this, but I don't know what products to look into.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome, the spreadsheet you put together, because you did price per ounce as well.
Yeah, so we broke it down by the main ingredient, the concentration of that ingredient, and the cost per ounce. So you can, I feel like I did a decent job of covering
Oh my God, you did.
most budgets. I mean, there's stuff for $10 and there's stuff for $100. So like one of those will probably cover you. Should we move on to chemical exfoliants?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so this is the one where I said the two products are often paired together and they're both under this umbrella. So there's
Yes.
AHAs and BHAs. AHA is alpha hydroxy acid, and the two kind of best researched and I would also say like most readily available and most kind of popular are glycolic acid and lactic acid. These work to exfoliate. This sounds gross. People get real weirded out, especially when you're like, put acid on your face. It's fine. But they basically break down dead skin cells. And so you're essentially resurfacing your skin by exposing all your nice, fresh, new skin that's underneath because it's dissolving and getting rid of the dead stuff.
A third one that is really good in the AHA category that I think the example, because we were talking earlier, like what our favorite products in each category are. I sent you one that was a mandelic acid.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite AHA ever.
I don't know a ton about it. That's not what usually comes up.
Yeah.
Like when you're, when you're generally just researching them. But let me see what I had it open somewhere. I can't find it now. The Paula's Choice ingredient dictionary, which is where I do a lot of my reading because they always cite the like journals and studies that they're getting this information from, said that the most effective and well-researched AHAs are glycolic acid and lactic acid, and that malic, citric, and tartaric acids may also be effective. It doesn't mention mandelic acid, but I know that it's in other products on the market, and I mean, if you're finding that it works.
Yeah, that's
cool.
The other thing about skincare. Like, it's so subjective to your face. Like, something could work for me and not work for you, and like work for 10 other people, and like another 12 it does not work for.
Yeah. I mostly am talking about, it looks like Paula's Choice actually, okay, mandelic acid has a good rating. It's also known as amygdalic acid. There's some research showing that it's an effective exfoliant, although not as effective as glycolic acid due to its larger size. I guess the molecule or whatever is twice as big, and so it penetrates the skin slower. But however, these traits can also make mandelic acid more tolerable for those with sensitive skin. So if you've tried glycolic acid or you've tried a stronger AHA and you're like, whoa, my skin is freaking out, mandelic acid could be a good way to go.
Yeah.
It does note that unlike glycolic acid, mandelic acid is light sensitive and must be packaged in an opaque container to remain effective. We've talked about that in other episodes, and really like most skincare should be packaged in like airtight and opaque containers as much as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you like, sorry, what?
I was gonna say, do you want to talk about your favorite products that are AHAs?
I really love the Ordinary glycolic acid toner. I think it's 7%. It's like $8 or $9 for an 8-ounce bottle. Mm-hmm. And courtesy of Lab Muffin, who also I did a ton of research on her website. All of that is linked in the blog post. But per her advice, I've actually been using it as my deodorant for the last like 4 or 5 months.
That's really cool. Have you found that it's been working for you? I
love it. I don't think I will ever go back. I don't know that okay, I'm gonna, whatever. We're talking about body things anyway. I am run quite warm and I get very sweaty. I don't know that using it actually helps me sweat less, though also like products that do, can those really be good for you? But I do think that it helps with any odor or smell that can come from being very sweaty. I think that my clothes are stained less, both from sweat and from deodorant.
Oh, that's good.
And also, as well, not that women have to shave their underarms, but I do shave, and using an exfoliant as my deodorant also has helped a lot with reducing the number of ingrown hairs. That I used to get them all the time, and now I basically never get them.
That's another thing that I do use, because I actually have that exact product, the Ordinary glycolic acid. That on a cotton round, whenever I'd shave my legs and it got like a little razor bumpy, was phenomenal for it.
Yeah, it's a good one. And I like that it's just basically in a big squeeze tube.
Yeah.
And like one of my other favorites is actually a combination of AHA and BHA. And I know you've got a couple that you like as well. But it's quite expensive. And like, I don't think I would want, like, I don't want to quote unquote waste it on other parts of my body
Yeah.
instead of my face. Whereas this is like, okay, I'm struggling with a skin issue. I'm okay using this. Like,
Right.
on my bikini area or like on my underarms. Not that you should regularly exfoliate your bikini area with glycolic acid, but like if you have an ingrown on a little cotton round, it's fine. I actually just ordered some reusable, like washable cotton rounds.
Oh, cool.
Because I was going insane, like using one and throwing it out every day for my deodorant. Okay. Should we get into BHA and then we'll talk about the BHA and the combo products that we like?
Yes.
Okay, so BHA is beta hydroxy acid, which more specifically refers to salicylic acid. I think it's the only one.
I couldn't come up with another one, so.
Like if you Google or search for BHA, it's always talking about salicylic acid.
Yeah.
That ingredient probably sounds familiar if you've ever purchased a product to help with acne. I think I even had it in like Clean and Clear products, like
Oh yeah, it was
2002.
in like face washes.
Yeah. So because it has the ability to penetrate into the pore lining and exfoliate inside the pore, which sounds horrible, but because it does that and exfoliate on the surface of the skin, it's particularly effective for reducing breakouts, including blackheads and whiteheads. And AHA and BHA, so alpha and beta hydroxy acids, are often paired together in a product for a more coordinated attack against like problem skin or skin issues, or just a really high quality or like higher concentration exfoliant.
Yeah.
Do you use like a plain BHA?
Yeah, you yelled at me for this. So,
I didn't yell at you.
whenever my skin like really acts up, I kind of ditch my I'll call them like luxuries because I have a lot of skincare and I like to use masks. I like to use different moisturizers and really experiment with different oils and everything, right? Whenever my skin starts to break out, I ditch all of that and I go to like a bare bones routine where I use the Stridex Red Box exfoliating pads, which is a 2% salicylic acid, and the Stratia Liquid Gold moisturizer. Because, yeah.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, because whenever my skin breaks out, my idea there is to fix that problem and then fix like the dryness that I've caused with the Red Box after.
That's typically also my approach. Like if my skin is really struggling, I
Yeah.
also like strip back my routine a lot, and I'll basically just go back to like my old super basic standby moisturizer, my cleanser, and then I will alternate daily between retinol and vitamin C.
Yeah.
And that's like basically all I use for a week or two, which is what I've been doing because my skin's been
I go
freaking
in,
out.
I nuke it, and I deal with the situation after.
I did notice while I was researching products is that almost everything with salicylic acid, with one exception, was 2%. Which is
what was the exception?
Herbivore has the Prism Exfoliating Glow Facial, which is one of our AHA and BHA combo ingredients or combo products, and it's 5% salicylic acid.
I actually have been dying to try that product. The first rendition of it was not recalled, but they reformulated it because it kept going. I don't want to say going bad in the container they had it in, but it was in like clear packaging.
Stop putting things in clear packaging, people. It's $58 for 1.7 ounces. Stop putting that shit in clear packaging.
So I don't know what they did to reformulate it because I'm pretty sure it's still in clear packaging, but I've always wanted to try that one. Stridex Red Box is the one that I use just to like nuke my face and try to fix it. And then
I didn't yell at you. I just said it
Strongly
might not
advised.
be helping your skin. Though I don't know that I've had great experiences with like a singular BHA product either.
So the one from The Ordinary, I have and I've tried it. I just don't think that it does much.
I have
Or
the
maybe
Icky
like
List one, and I don't think it does anything besides dry out my skin.
the only one that I have actually seen results with is the Stridex Red Box. So I kind of just am going with it. I've used a lot of actives on my skin though, so I think I've reached like a point where my skin can tolerate it. That won't be the case for everybody, and I know that that's definitely like if you try actives, you can probably use this product more effectively kind of thing, because I had stopped using BHAs when I was pregnant because you're apparently not supposed to. And then when I finally went back to using them, the first day I used it, my face turned like bright red.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah, it was
also, you're not supposed to, don't use retinol or vitamin A products if you're
correct.
pregnant or trying to get pregnant or breastfeeding.
Yeah, I had like redone my entire routine. I'm trying to think what I used. That's when I started to use the mandelic acid.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And niacinamide too, my favorite ingredient.
We're going to talk about it. It's recently jumped a couple levels in terms of ingredients I'm interested in, and like, though I just don't think I'm using the right product for me because of the other stuff that's in it. But for now, AHA and BHA combos.
Oh, they're so dreamy.
So usually this is in a mask, or I would say actually of the 4 that I listed, 3 of them are masks and 1 of them is a night serum.
Yeah.
But the masks are typically at a much higher concentration of glycolic acid. The 3 that I have are all 20% and up.
Yeah.
And then salicylic acid is at 2% for most of them. I know you really like the Drunk Elephant TLC Framboos, their night serum.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
It's a 12% blend.
Yep.
I couldn't find anywhere what's what, but I'm guessing it's 10% glycolic acid and 2% salicylic.
Yeah,
it
that
might
would
be 11 and 1, but I don't think it's going to be more than 2% salicylic.
Yeah, that would be my educated guess too. I really like that one just because my skin is on the oilier side, so I kind of need something like a serum more than like a moisturizer or like a mask. And my skin reacts really well to it. It absorbs pretty fast. So that's kind of the only reason I use that one instead of the other ones.
My mom actually also really likes that. And I think her skin is relative to mine more oily, but she's a big fan of that one.
Yeah.
I really like, oh God. I love the Drunk Elephant TLC, the Sukari Baby Facial, which is the mask. It's 25% glycolic acid and 2% salicylic acid, but I use it like maybe twice a month.
Okay.
Because you leave it on for like 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking they were all overnight masks, but now I realize how horrifying that sounds.
Oh my God.
Do not do that.
So Drunk Elephant is quite expensive, as we know. The TLC Baby Facial, the mask that I like, is $80 for 1.69 ounces. But our beloved Ordinary has their own, I want to say equivalent, but it's actually a higher concentration. And for that reason, a lot of people don't like it, like from a scientific perspective, because it can be really irritating. Their peeling solution is 30% glycolic acid.
Oh, did you give me that one?
Maybe. It's like bright red in the bottle, but you're only supposed to leave it on for like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's like $7. I feel like as a cautionary thing, it should not be that affordable.
Right. I'm also thinking off the top of my head, there's 2 more mask ones that I've used and enjoy. I'm pretty sure, because I'm just like thinking out loud, that they're a combo. It is the Herbivore, they're like blue tansy.
Yes.
They
have yes, they have a mask.
Yes, I've used that one before. That one was really nice. And then the brand Korres, the Greek brand.
Are they actually a Greek brand?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I know they have like Greek yogurt and everything, but yes, I'm familiar with the brand. I didn't know that they had what is it?
It's a pomegranate. I'm gonna see if I can look it up right now as I'm talking. It's a pomegranate BHA mask. I'm pretty sure it's a combo mask. It smells so good. Did they discontinue it? I swear.
It sounds familiar, actually. You said pomegranate. Now I remember reading something about it. But yeah, I would say.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, you found it.
Oh, did they? Oh, they redid all the packaging. That's cool.
Does your
Resurfacing mask.
designer brain approve of the new packaging?
No, I like the old packaging. AHA, BHA, and then pomegranate enzymes in it. So
I
that
see
last
that
one.
a lot. The like fruit enzymes. Oh, I didn't put that on the list. Peter Thomas Roth has a pumpkin enzyme
Oh yeah.
facial, and it's like bright orange, and I loved that mask for a long time.
Yeah, there's so many AHA BHA combo masks out there. They're all really good, honestly. They're one of mine, and I think yours too, like favorite kind of way to use your actives.
Absolutely. And I think I would generally say that unless you're like working with a dermatologist and you're like being told to use this explicit salicylic acid product, my general recommendation would be to use one of those products that has a combo.
Yeah.
Or to focus on AHA and retinol if you're struggling with acne more than BHA.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty sure, I was just Googling it, and it seems like they've since changed their minds based to like up to certain concentrations. But until I think last year, the EU had banned salicylic acid for the most part in skincare. And so like that was not a thing that you can buy in Europe for several years or like however long. Because it's really drying and intense. So yeah, I generally only use it if it's like in one of those other products that also has glycolic acid or higher concentration AHA.
Oh, I nuke my skin. But I also use like a team of moisturizers. When I go to sleep, I have a bunch of sleeping masks and things like that whenever I like absolutely destroy my skin with the red box.
Hear that, people? Even those of you with oily skin still need to moisturize, especially if you're hammering your skin with exfoliants.
Yeah.
So chemical exfoliants are, just like retinol, one of those things that you should introduce very slowly. You must wear sunscreen because they can increase photosensitivity and dry out your skin. And also, just like basically everything else, sensitive to air and light. So if you're buying them, make sure it's good packaging. One of the reasons Drunk Elephant has gotten so popular in the last couple of years is because all of their packaging is airtight and keeps out light as well, and so it helps keep those ingredients stable because you don't want to drop a ton of money on something and then have it stop working because of exposure to air and light. So I had vitamin C next, but I know you're super excited about niacinamide, and do you want to talk about that first?
Oh, you want to do niacinamide first?
Well, I'm asking if you want to.
No, let's run through vitamin C.
So we can focus on niacinamide at the end.
We can end on like, yeah.
Okay, so vitamin C, specifically in the form of ascorbic acid or L-ascorbic acid, is the most well-researched in terms of skincare. It's a very high potency, very potent antioxidant and skin-soothing agent. So it's also one of the very few like scientifically backed ingredients that can help improve the appearance of signs of aging. It can even out skin tone and diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles at higher concentrations, like 15 to 20%, which is typically what I'm using as a preventive measure. It's also well known for skin brightening benefits, and it can shield skin from the visible impacts of environmental stressors like free radicals. It also works very well with sunscreen. So even though right now I have an evening vitamin C, it's like a night oil. If you're applying it underneath sunscreen, it can actually like help boost your sunscreen protection from my understanding. I think that's part of why they're saying it can help with like free radicals and stuff, because not only is it doing its own great thing, but it's also helping to boost the performance of the other thing that you're using.
So that's pretty neat.
You have one that you really like, right?
I've actually tried a couple of different vitamin C products. I sent you one I didn't like. Do you remember the Stratia one?
I don't know if I actually tried it.
That's fine. It was like 2 different kinds of vitamin C. It like, you know when things like pill up on your face?
No, I hate that.
Ugh. I wanted to love that one so much because I really love that brand, but it just didn't react well with my skin. But I have a favorite one of all time. It is amazing because I have very oily skin, and like a vitamin C oil typically just like sits on my face for a while and I don't enjoy it.
I love
Because
them.
like so what happens in my skincare routine with oils a lot is like I have to use them at night or like the last thing I do, because if I try to use multiple oils, I end up just like sitting around waiting for like the oil to absorb.
Oh, I just slather my face in oil and go read my book.
I just
I love it. I
ugh.
love at like the end of the night when I have all my skincare and like my face is just the good
No.
kind of oily.
So yeah, the one that I found that I love was from Youth to the People. It was, I forgot what it's actually called. It has like a very long-winded name to it.
The Superfood Firm and Brighten Serum. I think it has vitamin C somewhere in the title as well, but
Yeah, it was like the vitamin C superfood firm Brighton, like yada yada yada. But it's a serum, and my skin like ate it up. I would put it on, and it would absorb so fast, and I just found it was absolutely wonderful. It definitely was a skin brightener for me, and just paired really well with everything else that I used.
I believe it has quite high feedback from Paula's Choice, or
Yeah,
rather from Beautypedia. I think
yeah,
they've since separated, but they used to be the same company. Take their reviews with a grain of salt, because obviously everything that's
everything
Paula's Choice has like
is
5 stars.
5 stars.
But I still, like with their ingredient dictionary, like I still consider them a fairly reliable resource, Paula's Choice products aside.
Yeah,
And they had quite favorable things to say from scientific perspective about the Youth to the People one.
yeah, I love that one a lot. I actually only bought it once or twice, because it is the most expensive one out of the bunch that I found. It's $65.
It's right in the middle of all the ones I had written down.
It's the most expensive one for me. And I really just can't justify it. I'm using one right now that I enjoy. I don't love nearly as much as that one, but I do like it a lot. It's the one from Glow Recipe that's in the little pineapple bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely more of an oil and takes longer to absorb into my skin. Also smells kind of weird.
Have you tried the Ordinary one? They have a
It's the
12%.
lotion.
It's the 12% ascorbyl glucoside lotion. No,
That
sorry,
one
solution.
pilled up on my skin, I want to say. I think I've definitely tried it. I'm pretty sure I remember it not reacting well with the other things that I would use. So like it wouldn't absorb into my skin. It would kind of just like sit on top of my skin.
Um, I didn't super love it because it kind of left like a tacky
Yeah.
feeling, but that's probably fine for people who, unlike me, don't want their skin to be super oily.
Yeah.
Because none of these ingredients are really the last thing you're putting on your skin. Like vitamin C is either going underneath your moisturizer and sunscreen or just
Right.
underneath your moisturizer in the evening. So like lots of people probably don't care if it leaves like a tacky sensation.
No, but it not absorbing all the way is kind of a big issue for me.
Oh, I felt our skin is so different. Like really we really are complete opposites in this world. Which makes for a really great podcast, huh guys?
But yeah, what vitamin C do you use? Because I know your list was vastly different than mine.
Yeah, my favorite is the Derma Doctor Kakadu C. It's Kakadu. High potency evening oil, which is a 20% vitamin C that also has vitamin E in it.
Okay.
It is pricey. I love it so much. I like it. First of all, it's an oil, and you only need a couple drops of it. So I usually either put it on under my moisturizer, or sometimes I'll just put a couple drops into my moisturizer, and I feel like it helps my skin so much. Sephora is running 20% off right now, and I was very excited to repurchase it. And they stopped selling Derma Doctor.
Nice.
Cool. But I'm almost out, and I have 20% off. So I did the unthinkable. I ordered the Drunk Elephant C Firma Day Serum.
Have you ever used it before?
I think I did try it once, but like several years ago at the height of my beauty spending, which we're going to talk about next. And I think I just like wasn't able to appreciate it or like really think about how it worked for me or not. And especially now that I'm in Texas, I'm kind of more open to a product that I need to use in the morning under my sunscreen. Like I'm definitely open to boosting skin protection I like to think that maybe I'll have a summer where I can be outside here. Anyway, if people actually stay home, I might get to risk a lot of sun damage in the next few months. And so I'm giving the Drunk Elephant one a try. And if I don't love it, it's actually a lower concentration despite being $6 more than the Dermadoctor one. It's only 15%. That's still supposedly enough to help with like evening out skin tone and stuff and such. But I'm gonna give it a shot. If I don't love it, I'm gonna go back to the Dermadoctor one because I really like that one.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have a similar problem where like I don't even want to try that one because I don't want to get myself hooked on Drunk Elephant vitamin C. Like the Youth to the People one was too expensive for me because that one was smaller and I felt like I ran through it really fast. And like I can't afford to just continue to spend $65 on a serum.
It was $62.
Oh.
Saved you $3. But it's actually the same size. They're all an ounce. All
yeah,
four of the ordinary Youth to the People, Dermadoctor, and Drunk Elephant vitamin C's are all 1 ounce.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get hooked on something that expensive. I might try Inky List has one, right?
Yes. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, the more affordable brands are kind of on my radar right now to try out some things because
Absolutely.
I have so much skincare in my bathroom that like I don't necessarily need a vitamin C for my skincare routine to be complete. So I don't need to keep buying like expensive ones, and I kind of just want to try a bunch of new things rather than like
I think especially with the growth of those more affordable brands, the Inky List, the Ordinary, Good Molecules is also pretty great. Even Paula's Choice sometimes has a decent price. They're a little bit more like maybe in the 20s and 30s.
I have like choice fatigue from Paula's Choice. I've never tried
I find their
anything
website
there.
really overwhelming. They have
It's really overwhelming because there's so many different like
mask.
categories.
I find their website overwhelming. They have a couple of products that I really like, but every time I go look on their website, I almost never end up buying anything. Sorry, guys. But anyway,
Right.
I think those brands now that are more affordable are really fantastic, especially if this is a new category for you and you're like, okay, I kind of want to dip my toes in retinol. Like that wasn't a thing when I was getting into this 3-4 years ago.
Do you want to know what brand I kind of want to try for skincare? I'm going to have to look into the ingredients more, and you're probably going to roast me in like a second or two. Makeup Revolution.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a skincare brand.
Yeah, so they started doing like the same thing that The Ordinary and Good Molecules are doing, where they have like a really affordable skincare line, and it looks like they're at least giving the appearance of having researched what they're doing and like putting effort into it rather than just like a couple of the other makeup brands like Tarte that are like, here's my moisturizer, it's filled with glitter. Enjoy, girl.
Makeup Revolution is a UK brand, right?
Yes.
So is the Inky List, I believe.
Revolution Beauty now, or like Revolution Makeup. I think they swapped them.
I don't know. But I will probably give the benefit of the doubt to a brand that is not from the US.
So yeah, I think I want to try if they have a vitamin C, they're on my list. But yeah, more affordable brands are kind of like where I am right now.
I often go on Beautypedia and either look up stuff before I buy it, which is why I'm always like, don't buy this when you're like, oh, I'm so excited. A friend of mine really likes Origins, and I'm always like, no, don't do it.
Origins.
They have like I can't actually think of any of their products right now.
Wait, why can't I either? I know I've heard of the brand. Like I've definitely tried something from them before.
Ginseng, is that one of their?
Oh yes, okay. I tried their Nitamins serum before.
That's their like big thing. Anyway, not great on Beautypedia. That's always where I go because aside from like performance reviews, they're also reviewing things like based on the ingredients from a scientific perspective. And if ever I buy something, you can bet I read about it. I like double checked it before I bought it. But they also have, you can just search for like the best rated things in any particular category, and it's not hard. It's not like it was a couple years ago. It's so accessible now to find even active skincare ingredients within pretty much any budget.
Do they update that list a lot? Because I remember I used to frequent the Beautypedia like 5 or 6 years ago, and I found that like most of their recommendations were older products or like things that are outdated, and they didn't have any like new releases on there.
I'm pretty sure all of the Inky List is up.
Okay.
But obviously there's a ton of stuff coming out now
Right.
also. So like Drunk Elephant has a newer like hydrating mask called F-Bomb,
Oh yeah. Cute.
and it's not up there yet, which is why I haven't
Hmm.
bought it. If you're curious about this stuff and you're like, oh, I want to try and dip my toes in something, you don't have to be like me and Fleur de Force is like, the Luna night oil from Sunday Riley is great. And it's like, cool, I'll buy that one. That's not, you don't have to do that anymore. There's totally great products for like $10, $15, $20 now.
Interesting example, because the ingredient in the Luna night oil, if I'm thinking of the same one,
Blue
is
tansy.
something, what?
It's blue tansy.
There is an oil from Herbivore, blue tansy oil, and that was my favorite oil of all time, and it's $70, and I'm not buying it, but it was the most incredible. I would say it's one of the like only oils I've ever loved from the bottom of my heart.
Do you want devastating information?
Please.
Both the Sunday Riley Luna night oil and the Herbivore blue tansy oil have atrocious reviews on Beautypedia from scientific perspective.
Honestly, I'm inclined to say I don't care.
Well, I did. I've been saying I don't care about the Luna for like 3 years. I've been using it, but they actually, Sunday Riley came out with a newer retinol serum called A+.
Okay.
Which is funny because it's vitamin A and they call it, it's cute.
That
is actually more affordable and has much higher reviews.
Okay. Because I've yet to find a blue tansy oil that is affordable and good. The brand, oh my God, why can't I think of it? Is it Pacifica?
Yeah, Pacifica is like a cruelty-free, but like an all-natural drugstore brand.
Like a skincare brand, right?
They do makeup too.
Okay. They had like a perfect dupe of the blue tansy oil, and then they went and reformulated it and made like the top ingredient fractionated coconut oil.
What a devious switch.
They did, and they didn't tell anybody. And I remember I ordered it online because I was like, all right, well, I'm going to stock up before the places that I shop at change it. And they sent me the reformulated one, and I was so pissed that I returned them.
So Paula's Choice is just across the board, or rather Beautypedia is just saying across the board that blue tansy oil can irritate skin.
They can fight me.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products listed. If you search blue tansy, 3 of them are Acure, 2 are Herbivore.
Acure, that's the brand I'm thinking of. It's not Pacifica.
Oh, their Seriously Soothing SPF Day Cream, that's SPF 30, has 4 stars, and one of the cons listed is that it has blue tansy oil.
Oh, they can fight me. So I'm going to go back to that and say that skincare is subjective, though, because I didn't find it irritating in the slightest.
I think their argument is that even things that you don't have issues with can cause problems in the long term, like fragrance and skincare. You might not have like an active reaction to it right now, but it can cause damage over like continued use.
Yeah, still falling on deaf ears. I really want to get it now.
Okay, so vitamin C is super sensitive to light and air. I know we've been saying that about everything, but this is like a really crucial one.
But seriously, we need it now.
Like you have to have secure packaging, so definitely skip clear bottles and twist open jars for vitamin C.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason the 2 that I really like. Well, the DermaDoctor one is because it's in a dark bottle with like a dropper. It's in a dark glass bottle. And the Drunk Elephant one, all of their products are in like airless pumps.
And the one from The Ordinary also is in like a tube, right?
Yeah, I think it's actually a plain glass. Maybe it's frosted glass.
Okay.
But I think it's also like the solution that it's in. I don't know. I'm defending them now, but I'm not actually sure on the specifics. But if for some reason it's not in a dark colored packaging or airless, like light safe packaging, just keep it in like a cabinet or a closed drawer when you're not using it. Onto your baby.
The grand finale.
Okay. Vitamin B3, niacinamide. This is a really fascinating one. It's pretty new to me.
Okay.
Mostly because of you.
Okay.
Lots of skincare benefits, and fascinatingly, no major side effects for like the vast majority of people, which is super rare, especially considering the like very high concentration actives that we're talking about.
Random addition to that, I followed, when I first started to get into skincare, this one account. Her name was, I found her on Reddit. Her name was Faceonomics, I think, was her account. And she posted a lot about skincare and like really broke down how to use what and like ingredients, and just was very thought out with what she was very good at teaching, like how to use skincare. And she was allergic to niacinamide.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
I know. And like, I remember there were so many products where she was like, I bet this would be great, but it has niacinamide in it. But yeah, so you can be allergic to it, I guess. So always patch test.
Yeah, always patch test. I guess what they're saying is more that like it's not likely to cause redness or dryness or photosensitivity, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so niacinamide is a very effective skin restoring ingredient that offers multiple benefits for aging and blemish prone skin. It has the ability to visibly improve the appearance of enlarged pores, uneven skin tone, fine lines, dullness, and a weakened skin surface. From Lab Muffin, she listed a bunch of the studies that niacinamide containing products were quoted as like helping in clinical trials. So helping to reduce darkening of the skin in the armpit, improved dry skin and stratum corneum barrier function, helping with acne, especially for oily skin, seborrheic dermatitis, yellowing, wrinkling, red blotchiness, and hyperpigmentation, overproduction of sebum, and it says could help the immune system when included in sunscreens. I didn't go read that study, but this article from her will be linked in the blog post if you do want to look more into that. But one of the things that I really like, among everything else we just said, is that it can also help to repair some of the damage from UV lights and offset other sources of environmental attack, including the negative impact of certain types of airborne pollutants. So actually has quite a bit in common with vitamin C.
Okay.
I wanted to bring that up because that's kind of one of the urban legends, for lack of better words, that you shouldn't use them together.
Yeah.
But according to Paula's Choice Ingredient Dictionary, the combination is fine and in fact quite beneficial to use them in the same product or applying them like in the same skincare routine at the same time.
Also, I had read on, I think it was Lab Muffin, that there aren't many products that you shouldn't use. Not that you shouldn't use together, but there aren't many products that are like absolutely detrimental to use together.
I would probably say like retinol and glycolic acid, but only because they're both like really quite harsh.
I think retinol was the only product that didn't play well with a couple of others. But other than that, like vitamin C and AHAs used to be like, oh, don't use those together. Mm-hmm. Niacinamide and a couple of things, but all of those have since been proven to be completely fine together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that we talked about tonight that like combining them is, you're not gonna like blow up your face and turn into the mask or something.
You might just get a little red.
Yeah, you might get red, you might get some irritation. However, one of the things that we talked about earlier is that like your skin doesn't need time to work with things. And particularly when we're talking about chemical exfoliants and retinols, like you shouldn't really be using them daily anyway. Mm-hmm. So there's no reason you can't just like alternate.
Yeah.
Like I like having a step in between cleansing and moisturizing. So some nights I'll use retinol, some nights I'll exfoliate, some nights vitamin C, whatever.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite niacinamide products? This is a really new category for me.
So the first one I ever tried was from the brand Stratia, which is one of my favorite skincare brands. And it's their Rewind oil. No, serum. It's serum. It's more of like I want to say it's like an oily serum. But it is just a really good product overall. We were talking about this ingredient before we started recording, DMAE.
Yes.
Which is just another vitamin B product.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so it had that, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide. And it was just a really nice oil, serum-y kind of product. Played well with my skin. So yeah, that was a good one. And then my favorite one of all time is from The Ordinary. It is just their niacinamide. I think it's zinc, right?
Yeah, I think it's 10% niacinamide and 1% zinc.
Yeah, and then another good one was from Good Molecules. All three of these that I just listed are very affordable. They're all, um, if not under $10, under $20.
The ordinary one is $5.90, and the Inky List one, which is what I've been using, is $6.99.
And the Good Molecules one, I think, is $7.
I don't know. I actually don't have anything from Good Molecules or Stratia on our spreadsheet, so maybe
Okay.
I'll add those in before this goes live.
Okay, yeah, I think the Stratia one might be like 15. But yeah, I found niacinamide. So I had used it in the past and just like enjoyed it and then kind of moved on and tried other things. But I rediscovered it and fell in love with it when I had to ditch my BHAs because I couldn't use them anymore when I was pregnant. And so my skin had just like completely wreaked havoc and started breaking out. And like I tried so many things. I tried azelaic acid, which is another, is that an active or is it just like?
I think it's a type of AHA, but maybe not a great one. I mean, I don't think it's a bad one, but it's not one of the...
It wasn't great for me at the very least. I had tried it from The Ordinary and it pilled up on my skin. It didn't really do anything. It wasn't very effective. Vitamin C alone didn't do enough. I had tried so many different things. AHAs didn't do enough. And the minute I added niacinamide into my routine, my skin cleared up and it was like perfect again. Well, it wasn't perfect, but like my skin cleared up and it just, everything went away and we all lived happily ever after.
It looks like it's a chemical exfoliant, but it's not an AHA. It's a dicarboxylic acid. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I've heard, so I tried it because I had heard a lot of good things about it. The guru that I was talking about before, Faceonomics, had recommended it, but it just wasn't for me. But yeah, so having tried that and a couple of other things led me back to niacinamide and it cleared up all of my problems.
So I have the Inky List one, but it's specifically the niacinamide oil control serum.
Okay.
And I don't think that that's the product for me, but I don't think the niacinamide is the issue, especially because it literally says it can help with dry skin.
Right.
I think it's more whatever is in there that's oil control. And
Right.
also, as I discovered reading through the ingredients before we started recording, it apparently also has soybean oil, which I'm allergic to. So no shit that we're not getting along. The ordinary one is unfortunately sold out in Sephora right now. I realize for $6 I can go get it somewhere else, but I have 20% off. So I'm hoping it comes back in stock before the sale is over. And there's also, I put a bougie one on here just for comparison. Peter Thomas Roth, which is a brand I generally quite like. They have a pro strength discoloration treatment, which is 15% niacinamide, and both the ordinary and Inky List are 10%. But it's $88 for 1.7 ounces.
Oh, you know, I was about to say maybe I'll try it, but I really don't want to try it for that much money.
So for comparison, the ordinary one is $5.90 for an ounce. The Inky List is $6.99 for an ounce. And for 1 ounce, the Peter Thomas Roth Pro Strength Discoloration Treatment is $51.76.
Yeah, I'm good on that if it's not broken.
But I actually was interested. I looked it up on Beautypedia because a lot of the times these more expensive brands put things out and it's like absolute nonsense. 5 stars. Super great. So if you've got money to spend and you want to treat yourself, this might be a good one. I don't know. I haven't tried it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, I'm never going to try it. I don't think unless they send it to me, I'm not trying it. But yeah, niacinamide is my favorite ingredient of all time when it comes to skincare. I want to try different brands, but I also really love the ones that I love now, so I don't want to try different brands.
I'm pretty sure, hold on, I'm going to search niacinamide on... This episode is not sponsored by Beautypedia or Lab Muffin. They're just actually really great resources. Search niacinamide. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you. The Fourth Ray Beauty 10% niacinamide serum.
Yes.
$16. 5 stars.
Really?
Really.
So I want to try it now. I actually have not tried. I tried more of their like gimmicky face, not oils, their face milks, which I think are more of just like a gimmick and for fun. I don't really think I've seen like anything truly spectacular happen with any of those. But I actually have been very interested in trying their niacinamide and their vitamin C as well.
So Beautypedia says specifically about the Fourth Ray 10% niacinamide product. Concentrated niacinamide offers improvement for pores and healthier looking skin, contains supporting, replenishing ingredients to enhance hydration, formulated with soothing antioxidant extracts for added benefit, and it's fragrance free. The con is that some of those antioxidants will be compromised if the clear packaging is not stored away from light. It's almost like I sound like a broken record saying these things.
Yeah, I can deal with that, honestly, for $10. Wow, I'm going to add that to the list. I forgot Fourth Ray Beauty even existed for a minute there. Because we were talking about affordable brands, and they're actually a really decent affordable brand.
Well, the niacinamide serum is great. The BFD cleansing oil is supposed to be great, and basically everything else is 1 star.
I have their white tea mist.
Not on here yet. There's only 7 or 8 products so far.
Okay. I have that one, and I really enjoy it. But like I said, I also have the milks, and I'm like fairly certain that those are gimmicks.
Yeah, the matcha one doesn't have, it's 2 stars. By stars, I don't mean that this product doesn't work, but I mean like there's not good science backing up the ingredients that are in it. That's why I like that website so much. I don't need to read somebody's review and be like, oh yeah, this works great. I want to know like what these ingredients are doing.
Right. What am I using? What science is behind it? But yeah, I forgot they existed. I'm going to add that one to my short list of niacinamides I want to try.
Yeah, I will add that to
Yeah, we will have a very long list of products to try and brands to try because there are so many affordable ones now that it is a ton of fun to go out and try new products.
And it's so much easier now. There's so many more affordable brands out there that you don't have to drop like $600 on your firstborn to see results with your skin. And whether you're struggling with some acne or dryness, or you just want to prevent some aging and like sunspots and stuff, there's so much cool stuff out there now.
There really is.
This was like a hype pet project for me. I'm so excited that we did this episode, and now I can breathe and like let it go for a bit.
Yeah, this was really fun. I enjoy rambling about skincare. Did
you learn anything new in my rambling?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always learn more about retinol whenever I hear about it because, like I said, it's just the one product that I just don't have the headspace to, like, entertain yet.
I listed quite a few in our rundown, but the Inky List one is like $10, and it's 1.5%, and I believe it had really great reviews, like, scientifically.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy the $105 blue tansy stuff.
The blue tansy oil was so good, though.
Sorry.
It's okay.
All right. We hope you guys.
It's not like I've bought it since.
Yeah, apparently the blue tansy itself is the problem. I'll look up what else is in it, and I'll see if I can find you something. I'll do that for you.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we hope you learned something. Comment on our blog post at beautybirdspodcast.com, facebook.com/beautybirdspodcast, Twitter at beautybirdspod, Instagram at beautybirdspodcast. Let us know if you have any specific questions about skincare, about anything we talked about, and let us know if you want us to do like a full episode on the basics that we talked about in the beginning. Moisturizer, sunscreen, cleanser. I can talk about that stuff all day.
Yeah, same. I think that's it for me.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Stay inside, wash your hands. Don't touch your face unless you're, doing your skincare.
All right. Bye.
Bye.